Andrews faced the floor here, but he's got to be aware of Derek White on a quick pass back. Osha.
White will inbound. It's off to Smart for the seventh game. No! It may have been tipped in, but the buzzer sounded. The light was on. It'll be reviewed. Have to protect the offensive rebounding.
Oh, he got rid of it. That's a Celtic win, and we're going to Game 7.
The Celtics are going to win. There's a Game 7 back in Boston.
Ruling on the floor is good basket. The play's under review.
White.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. As always, I'm Chanler, and today's YouTube video, I'm going to recap Game 6 of the Miami Heat Boston Celtics Game 6. And what a crazy ending. What a fourth quarter. I mean, there's so much to talk about in this game. I mean, so now that everybody's sort of either aware of what's going on in this series, or if you're at least paying attention to what's going on in this series, that the Boston Celtics are trying to make history and become the first team ever to come back from a 3-0 deficit. There's only been like 3 teams in the history of NBA basketball that have forced a Game 7. The 2003 Portland Trailblazers, a Denver Nuggets team did it, and some New York Knicks team back in like the 50s or whatever. It was only 3 teams have forced a Game 7, and obviously all 3 have lost in game, eventually all lost in Game 7. Now, this is slightly different because I'm going to guess that all 3 teams that they lost to were the higher seeds or just simply the better team. But Miami was the 8th seed, and they were up 3-0, and now Boston has tied this series to go into Game 7. And we'll get to how the game ended in just a moment, but Miami really had this game won, even when Bam Adebayo and Jimmy Butler played not even that great. I mean, obviously Jimmy Butler scored 15 in that fourth quarter, but like he didn't play his best basketball to even potentially win the game, even though he sunk to three free throws at the end to go up. But like, I mean, it's just like even like everyone else in the Miami like role players and these undrafted players that they've had played unbelievable to help them win this game, and they still lost. It's just one of those heartbreaking losses you would have to, if you're a Miami Heat fan, you just go, damn it, we had it. We were going to win that game. We were going to go to the NBA Finals. We were going to play the Denver Nuggets. And then Derek White happened. Derek White, out of all the players that you were not wanting to, take the last shot, he was probably the last one. You're like, all right, we'll let him take the shot, but not the way that he made the shot. But we'll get there in just a moment. I mean, it's crazy how this game ended. So let me look at the box score here. Because like I said, Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo had a really rough night. Let's see. So Jimmy was 5 of 21 from the field, still had 24 points, but a lot of those came from the free throw line. Bam Adebayo was 4 of 16 with 11 points, but he still had like 13 rebounds. So, I mean, Jimmy Butler still made plays and still had impact buckets at the end of the game in the fourth quarter, but like overall, he didn't really play his best basketball, what we are usually see from Jimmy Butler in these playoffs. And I feel like he hasn't really played his like absolute best since like Game 3. I mean, it's because of Butler, maybe it's because of Boston's length and defensive strategy that they're doing against Jimmy Butler. I don't know. I feel like that's probably it, and Jimmy Butler said in his press conference just a minute ago, he's like, nah, nothing's really changed. He just isn't making shots, which, is slightly the case. He's just not making shots. But I feel like it's sort of Boston's length and their defensive approach and how they're guarding Jimmy Butler, because once he gets in the paint and he like tries to stops and like pivots and like turns and try to get some space to get a shot up, they're just using their length to block his shot, which, credit to them. And, Caleb Martin, once again, playing awesome. Gabe Vincent playing awesome. I mean, shout out Duncan Robinson in that fourth quarter playing pretty well. I mean, besides, trying to win the series, which I don't blame him. The first one, he was wide open. Obviously, just didn't make it. The second one, I was like, I was a little hesitant. I was like, did we really need that? It was like sort of like that one game. Remember last year when the Miami Heat and Celtics in Game 7, when Jimmy Butler took that 3 to win, which again, a lot of us were like, we don't mind him taking that shot, but we would have liked maybe have seen him go to the rim or something like that. But, it is what it is. And I have no problems with Duncan really taking that shot because I think that's typically a shot he would take in a game. It just didn't go in. So it is what it is. But, as for Boston, though, Tatum, really, he also struck. He didn't really shoot that ball that well. He had 31 points. But again, a lot of that came from the free throw line. A lot of fouls in this game. A lot of fouls. He was 8 of 22. He was 0 for 8 from three-pointers. Marcus Smart was 7 of 15 from the field. Jaylen Brown, 9 of 16. He had a pretty decent shooting performance. Even though he was also 0 for 4 from 3. A lot of misses. Like they were 7 of 35 from the 3. They really should have lost this game, which again, they probably should have. Like that's a crazy thing. Miami should have won this game, even because Boston was trying their best to give this game to Miami and be like, here you go. We don't really want to we don't want to force a game 7. We don't want to be the first team to ever come back from a 3-0 deficit. They had so many turnovers. They had so many missed shots. Miami just kept hanging around, getting baskets after their baskets and getting stops and just kept hanging around until the moment where Jimmy Butler got fouled in the fourth quarter with 3 seconds left to go up 3. Or no, not up 3, but up 1. He makes all 3 of his free throws because he got fouled on a 3. On the floor, it was called a 2, and then they reviewed it, and they made it as a 3. So obviously Jimmy Butler makes his 3 throws, and then Boston calls a timeout to advance the ball, and Marcus Smart gets the ball because they were obviously looking for Tatum to get the ball, but they were double teaming him, so you wouldn't even touch the ball. And then, Marcus Smart gets the ball, turns around, shoots it, goes in and out. And then, because actually Derek White was the guy who inbounded the ball. And he went to the corner, or maybe was he the one who inbounded the ball? I had to look at that play. I'm almost positive he was the one who was inbounding the ball, too. Let me look at the play again. Yeah, he's the one who inbounded the ball. And he still went to the corner, saw the ball go in, but then he made it he inbounded the ball, went to the corner, and then he saw the ball go up, to the rim, and he started sprinting to the ball or to the rim to at least go, tip it in, which he did. And everybody's initial thoughts, in real time, like, oh, he didn't get it off. He didn't get it off. He was like, oh, I got it. Which is, typical basketball players, like, oh, I made it. I got it off before the buzzer. Any basketball player is going to say that. But in reality, he got it off. And it's like, wait, he just got that off? Because, when they showed the replay, they slowed it down, and he got it, he shot the ball with, 0.2 seconds left, and then it went red, and the ball was already, in the hole. I was like, oh, my God, Derek White just won the fucking game for them. That's insane. I mean, shout out Derek White for making that unbelievable being awareness of, going to the hoop and trying to get a tip in. And honestly, Marcus Smart's shot, probably should have went in. It was in and out and spinning out, and he just right place, right time for Derek White. And I don't know who's really supposed to box out Derek White. And maybe, it's supposed to be Max or who, I don't remember who was all on the floor for the Heat, but whoever, because I feel like they, a lot of the attention was going to Tatum, and they were not really focusing on Derek White because, like I said, and he's the last guy you would really worry about him taking the last shot because you don't really expect him to get the ball. And, he's, like I said, he was at the right place, the right time. He just happened to be right underneath the basket to put the ball in. It's just one of those crazy moments where you just go, dang, Derek White. So, yeah, I mean, because, I'm, not – I don't really care who wins this series, but, at the same time, I'm actively rooting for Jimmy Butler to get back to the finals. So I'm not saying I really want Boston to win, but I really don't want Boston to win. I don't really want them to be the first team ever to come back from a 3-0 deficit because we've already had Boston fans have already had the 28-3 comeback in the Super Bowl. They already had the Boston Red Sox come back from, their own 3-0 deficit against the Yankees. We didn't need more Boston fans getting more confident about these comebacks and stuff. It's all right, we get it. It's the arrogant, what is it? I don't know what's the word I'm looking for. It's God, I'm already struggling because it's 11:30 at night. I'm trying to figure out the word I'm trying to say, but it is what it is. But We don't need to see Boston fans being more petty or more having more success in these playoffs. You know, when they go, "Oh, yep, we're the title town," blah blah blah. Which I guess technically they are, but like really, Boston Celtics haven't really won a championship since 2008, and they have like prior to that they haven't won a championship since like 1986. Even though they had like they got the fucking 17 titles from Bill Russell because he won 11 of them. So really, are they even like a powerhouse? I mean, I know it's stupid. I know it's really stupid to say, but if you just take away those Bill Russell championships, are they still going to win like 11 of those? Like, I'm not actually, I really don't want to go down this rabbit hole with Boston Celtics and their history because like obviously it is what it is. But like in my opinion, they're slightly an overrated franchise. Like they just happen to get one of these all-time great players in Bill Russell, who's literally like the best player in his time. Like no one could guard him, no one could stop him. He's just gonna block and score every time he wanted to because he's Bill Russell. He's gonna block every freaking shot. Any shot that's coming into the lane, he's gonna just go bah, take that shit out of here. So I mean, it's just, he's what was he like 7 feet tall, and everybody else was probably like 6 feet, and can only dribble with the right hands at the time. So I mean, I'm not trying to disrespect Bill Russell or anything like that because he's obviously one of the best players of all time, but like, come on, man. I mean, again, I'm not trying to go down this rabbit hole, but I guess I already am going down this rabbit hole with the Boston Celtics franchise. Look, I don't care if these Boston Celtics fans can tell me all I want. I'd be like, "Oh, Chanler, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. We're the best. We're one of the best franchises in the world." Like, I guess, yeah, you are because because Bill Russell won you 11 championships. Larry won you 4. And then after that, who else won you championships? Because as soon as Larry left, you didn't win a championship You didn't win a championship for a very long time until 2009 or 8. What year was it? Like 09, 08? Then since then, you haven't won a championship. You got to the NBA Finals last year, and then you blew a 2-0 lead to the Golden State Warriors. So, look, it's just my opinion. They're one of the more overrated ones. And maybe you can say that, we can poke fun and we can poke holes at every single NBA franchise history if you really think about it. But in reality, like I said, they're not that good of a franchise. It's like, okay, they've had really good players go through Boston, but it's just one of those things like, I don't know, maybe this is probably going to bite me in the ass as soon as actually no it won't, because they're not going to win the championship because you know why? They're going to lose to the Denver Nuggets. Guaranteed. They're going to lose to them. It's matter of fact. Even assuming that they'll going to beat the Miami Heat in Game 7, which now I'm slightly more confident in Miami Heat winning the series, but we'll get there in just a second because I want to keep having this thought. I mean, it's just, like I said, whoever wins this series, if it's either Boston or Miami, it doesn't matter it doesn't matter who comes out of the series. Does not matter. Because you know why? The Denver Nuggets are going to win this series. They're going to win the NBA title. Without a fact. It's just not a question. Like, they're simply just the better team. They have the best player in the world. Jokic, doesn't matter. Like, Jokic going up against the Celtics. Oh, yeah, who's going to stop him? Like, who's going to guard him on the Celtics? Robert Williams? Okay. Who's going to guard him in Miami? Bam Adebayo? Yeah, okay. So, I mean, it's just... And plus, they got so much talent. Like, Jamal Murray's playing out of his mind. Michael Porter Jr. is playing really well. You got Caldwell Pope. Aaron Gordon's playing pretty decently. So, I mean, it's just one of those things. Like, I don't care who comes out of this series because it doesn't matter. They're going to lose to Denver, and I will be probably rooting for Denver because why don't you root for Denver? They haven't really had success, and you wouldn't mind to see Jokic, win an NBA title because how can you hate the guy, really? Now, if he, leaves Denver because he was, I don't know, maybe because something happened, I don't know. Maybe if he, pulls a LeBron and he gets swept and against whoever they have to play. Maybe. I don't know. I doubt it. But again, even then, how can you hate the guy? He's just so likable. He's truly so likable. So, I don't know. It's one of those weird things, right? So I guess now I should probably ask myself, who the hell is going to win this series now? Now, I genuinely thought, I had a tweet and I was thinking about this whole time and I was listening to some of these people. and they have sort of the same thing I was thinking. It's like Game 6 is Miami's Game 7. If they don't win Game 6, the series is over. Like, Boston's going to win. But after tonight's performance, and then they give me sort of a thinking that Miami legitimately could go to Boston, which obviously they could have, regardless of Game 6 outcome. But they gave me like some better chances, better hope of knowing they legitimately have a chance of going into Boston and winning this series and winning Game 7. But it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. Now, they did it. They did it. Or wait, yeah, they did it. They've done it. They did. They won games 1 and 2 in Boston. So, obviously, they have had history of winning games in Boston. So, it's like I said, it could be slightly tough. So, it'll be very interesting to see how Game 7 plays out. Because, like, a heartbreaking game like that for Miami is sort of just like, I don't know if it's like drains their energy. It's like, dang, they just sit in the locker room like this, or it's just like, dang, we really blew it. We really blew it. We had it. We were going to go to the NBA Finals. Then Derek White happened, but maybe it motivates him. It's like, hey, we better not let that shit happen again. We're going to go in the Boston. We're going to kick their asses, and we're going to go to the NBA Finals. I don't know. It'll be very. I mean, Jimmy Butler's. I mean, I was questioning Jimmy Butler's like dog and embassy. You know, if he's him, I was for a minute, and then he sort of made that run, and then I was like, okay, he still got that. I mean, I never questioned his dog, but I guess I was more questioning about if he's him, because like these past 2 games, he hasn't really shown that he's him. And like I was sort of mentioning, is it the defense? Is it something else? I don't know. So. I mean, I shouldn't say I know. I don't know, but maybe it is one of those things. So maybe you should ask like JJ Redick, be like, hey, JJ, what the hell's going on with Jimmy Butler? Is it the defense that they're playing on him, or is it something else? So, I mean, this series has been so crazy. It really has. It's so you're really telling me that Miami was up 3-0, beat Boston in Boston twice, and then won Game 3 at home. Then they lost Game 4, Game 5, and now they've lost Game 6. They've really lost 3 straight, and they could potentially lose their 4th straight. And Boston, again, being the first team ever to, win 4 straight, being down 0-3. It's just like, come on. So, like, God, I still can't believe Derek White made that shot. Like, if I was one of those guys, I'd be so heartbreak right now. I'd be like, damn. I mean, that sucks. Obviously, they gotta just be like, all right, it happened, flush it, move on. We'll go to Game 7. We're gonna win in Boston. So, yep, it's crazy, man. It's truly crazy. Like, I even put a tweet out saying that I am personally shocked. I'm still personally a bit shocked that this is happening. All right, here it is. So, 1951. NBA Finals, the New York Knicks defeated the Royals, Cincinnati Royals. 1994, the conference semifinals. The Denver Nuggets forced a Game 7 against Jazz, but lost. And the Portland Trailblazers in 2003 forced a Game 7 against the Mavs, but still lost. So all 3 of those teams still lost in Game 7. So it'll be, like I said, it's going to be such an interesting game. I'm excited for Monday. I'm so excited. So, yeah. I think I'm just going to wrap it up here real quick, but I do want to mention that I'm sorry that if I didn't post any episodes this week. I was going to post I was going to do an episode on Tuesday, but due to some conflict with a dog that I live with that sometimes can't let me just be alone peacefully and just do some recording, he has to be near me and he has to make noise. He can't just let me be me. Either he has to play with me or he just wants to bark at me or he needs to be let outside. It's just one of those things that I don't really want to get into it right now with that dog because this is all about Derek White. We should be rooting for Derek White, but I just wanted to mention that real quick. If for some reason it's like, oh, Chan, why ain't you posting any episodes? And like I said, I got distracted with that my roommate's dog that I live with, which sometimes can be annoying with that dog. But again, that's neither here or there. But again, I am mentioning it again. And I am bitching about it. And somebody might tell me, he's like, well, Chan, why don't you just go talk to him? Well, I really don't want to. I really don't want to talk to him about his dog because I feel like he'll just not listen about it. Again, I don't really want to bitch and complain about my roommate's dog, but I'll stop there. I'll just stop there. All right. So that's going to be it for this YouTube channel, or this not YouTube channel, but this YouTube video about Derek White, forcing the Game 7 for the Boston Celtics and how we are potentially about to see history or not. Because, the Boston Celtics haven't made any history yet. They gotta win Game 7 to make history. They could make history, but they haven't made history yet. So maybe I'll do one of these videos again when Hoover wins Game 7. So I appreciate everybody watching this video. If you like this video, subscribe, like the video, comment the video, give me your thoughts on Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals and all that. Give me your thoughts on Miami and Celtics and all that other stuff. So with that being said, I appreciate everybody watching. I will see you guys next time on some platform. You could be podcasting or video. I don't know. We'll see. I'll see you guys next time.